Today we're going to pick apart my riding and break down the anatomy of a really bad 360 and how to correct it. Welcome back to Becky Emil Horse Training. We're going to break down a poorly executed 360 today, and we're going to pick apart my riding, and then we're going to show you what I do to correct it. This is Shooter, and he's a 3-year-old gelding. I'm riding in the Foreman Super Short, and I have my reins connected to the snaffle rings on this bit. So let's slow motion it down and take a look at what's going on. Okay, to start here, I'm trying to gallop my hands down, and my reins are just too long. We see here in the freeze frame, my elbows are getting behind my back as I pull back on the reins here. Then my cue to stop is poorly communicated as I put my hand forward. It's really unclear to him what I'm asking him to do. He does not stop nearly as aggressively as hard using his hind end, creating dorsal flexion to help him get his hind end underneath him, and then I ask him to start the turn too soon. Consequently, he doesn't get his right hind foot planted as good as he could. He has to stabilize with the hind left, and then we see the whole hind end pop up off the ground as he tries to gather himself. Take another look at my stellar riding as I lean back as hard as I can and just try to muscle him around. I also lose my left stirrup because my weight was not in my feet, but hey, at least I kept my heel down, right? It's really no surprise here that he leaves as flat as he does. He's got his hind end kicked out behind him, and he's unable to leave the maneuver at a lope. He has to take off at a trot because his hind end is so far hung out behind him. And this is where we lose a lot of time and speed. Okay, so how do we fix this? Well, let's try it again. We're going to pick up our right lead again. I've already gathered up my reins a little bit shorter. We can see in this freeze frame here that my elbows are now even with my back as I gallop him down. I'm clear and concise in the cue to stop. Let's watch that again. We see my hand go forward for the cue. He feels it. I hold hard for an extended period of time in this stop and make sure that hind end stops. Put my hands forward to release and say thank you and let him know that the next maneuver is coming. I start the turn when that inside right hind end is planted and ask for the turn. He's able to come up underneath himself better with the outside hind foot and elevate himself to come around in a loping 360. To depart out of this 360, I'd still like to see my elbows down and in and my hands a little bit lower. Also, when we look at the first part of the 360, I'd like to see his head down just a tiny bit. We see his need for a martingale, and we have some mouth gapping open, which is feedback to us telling us that he's still not 100% confident in his footwork. Despite the minor riding errors on my part, he was still able to leave the 360 at a lope because his footwork was correct. So I hope this helped you guys a lot. Please like and share and subscribe, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching.